We got you stuck off the realness, the most infamous, you heard of us. Official podcast murderers, the show comes equipped with viewpoints to share. Grown man ideas for all those who care and wanna grow, so go ahead and download. Every single week with a brand new episode. You're not alone in this world, cousin, so we share information and honest discussion and keep repping the culture like we supposed to. They spread gossip, but they never come close to. I can hear it inside their tone. They talk about the industry, but never left their home. You get laced up with bullet points and such, plus empowering topics that they never would touch. You can put your whole network against the team, but Super Duty Tough Work's the MVP. Most valuable podcast on MP3. Priceless info, but all of it's free. So take these words home and think them through. Super Duty Tough Work is coming at you. You are now listening to Super Duty Tough Work with your host, Blueprint. Raw and uncut. Adult conversations. No shucking, no jiving, and no bullshit.
All right.
Yeah.
We are back in the building.
Word.
And we're talking about the problem with just enough. And this conversation is one that sparks from, just observing society and looking at how things are set up. If you really look around yourself, let's just start with the school system, if you will, for example. I think we can all agree that the American school system is not really designed to create advanced, learners, or it's really designed to create employees.
Yeah, workers.
It's not designed to create thinkers as much as it's designed to create people who can follow instructions, right? I think that the reason that is because, you look at it and you can get through that system by doing just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Like all you need is a C average, which is basically middle of the road score,
mm-hmm.
to be able to quote unquote graduate,
all right,
and make it to the next level.
Even play sports.
Barely, right?
Yeah.
Just to play sports. That's just to get out of high school. Now look at what 90% of the job force is constructed of. It's constructed of jobs that allow people to work just enough to get paid, to go home, to enjoy their weekends.
Right.
Never get a Monday through Friday off, but to enjoy your weekends and never truly get ahead or get to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You will get some raises, you'll get some promotions, but overall, the job force is a reflection of the high school education system for the most part. They don't want thinkers. They want doers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want independent people who can solve problems. They want people who can follow instructions and maintain the status quo.
You gotta say that one again.
Hold on, people in the back.
That's too much. I think my kids need to listen to this podcast.
The job system does not want independent thinkers. They want people who can follow instructions and maintain the status quo.
That is so real.
And I wish people would have told us that when we were in high school.
Know what I'm saying?
Because I think it would provide a lot more motivation than what they currently were, give us.
Yeah, because it's easy to just make it in high school.
Oh, totally.
So easy. You can even get B's without really putting forth too much effort. You might have to study more than, the average, but it ain't like you gotta, carry your books home every day and be reading for hours and hours to get even B's and C's,
Right, exactly. So just enough becomes this phrase that's synonymous with a minimum level of comfort.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really look at what you have to do to be a functional member of society, not an extraordinary member, just functional, doing just enough is a big part of that. Your grades are just good enough to graduate. Your resume is your skill set is just good enough to get an entry level job. Your work ethic is just good enough to not get fired.
Right. Right.
You ain't
really getting promoted.
Yeah. Your credit score is just good enough to get a decent car, but not the one you really want.
Right.
right? Life is set up to make people gravitate towards and celebrate just enough as if it is some sort of destination.
Like it's success.
It's not. Like just enough is not what you aspire to.
Right.
It's what you settle for.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to land on just enough unintentionally.
Right. If you were shooting high, but it's like, all right, at least I ain't evicted. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'll settle for another month being able to pay my rent.
Yeah.
But you don't aim for, oh man, I'm going to make just enough.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm going to get just educated enough. Because when you do that, there's a whole lot of like bad things that come along with it. Yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about in this episode. We're going to talk about the problem with just enough.
A lot of problems.
There's many problems with it. Okay. So the number one problem with just enough, and this is the obvious one, is that you are not aiming high enough. There's going to be failures in life.
Mm-hmm.
No one achieves everything they set out to do, right? I think that's very clear. But the problem is that when you let like the disease of just enough into your mind,
mm-hmm.
pretty soon you stop setting your sights for really high goals that would actually push you and bring the best out of you.
Mm-hmm.
Just enough is almost like it's like a drug. You know, when you're a teenager, hey mom, I want to make just enough to get the car.
Right.
I remember being in high school, man, I just want to make just enough from working at McDonald's just so I can get a gold chain.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I can get a silk shirt.
Yeah.
Because that's what we was rocking it.
Yeah, now it's like to pay my cell phone bill.
Right.
You know, that's
it's the cell phone bill,
yeah,
right?
now it's the cell phone bill.
Because I talked to my niece and she says the same thing now. She's like, yeah, I just want to make just enough to pay my bills, uncle. And I'm just like, nah. You know, you're not aiming high enough. I think what we do in society is largely a part of like how high we set our goals. Those people who set high goals, maybe they fail. Maybe they don't get everything they wanted, but they'll still be infinitely farther than those who set their goals too low.
Yeah.
And so just enough is just super dangerous, especially if you're young.
Yeah, I think people don't they don't realize what they're saying. They don't realize that when you vocalize something like that and you act it out repetitiously, that it becomes habit. So you get okay with living paycheck to paycheck because you get used to it. Even though you know this isn't your life. You know this isn't what you really want in life, but you're comfortable. You know, you're in this mode. You're in this practice of, yeah, I make $800 every 2 weeks, but I'm broke by Tuesday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I get paid Friday, broke by Tuesday, but all my bills are paid, so I'm cool. But you don't got nothing to show for it. Other than that, you don't got nothing in your savings account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but you get paid, you got your bills are paid.
That's enough.
But that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you good.
You'll never have more than that.
Right. You'll never have any abundance, and that's not cool. I mean,
just think of how often you hear somebody on a social media platform say a comment to the effect of, all my bills are paid though.
Right. Right.
Look, I'm broke, but all my bills are paid.
Yeah. That's
and no one jumps in and says, yo,
that's still not good.
That's not good enough.
Yeah.
That's the minimum.
Yeah. Your bill should be paid.
Right. Yeah, like
congratulations.
Since when is that something to brag about, brother?
Congratulations.
Since when we bragging about paying our light bill?
You made them bills, didn't you? You need to pay them bills then.
I'm not saying motherfuckers got to be Bill Gates in it out here, but goddamn,
right?
Are we really bragging about paying our cell phones on time now?
Right, paying your rent,
the minimum. Right, yeah. This is fucking crazy, dog. So this shit is fucked up, and this is really what we're up against with just enough. I mean, I think when you set that bar so low, it kind of takes away your ability to aim high. And after that, I mean, you kind of fall into this mode of, why should I aim high?
Yeah, I'm good.
What's on the other side of aiming high?
Yeah.
I'm good.
If you never see it, especially in the Black community, it's something that we deal with all the time, as far as everybody being okay with just enough. Culturally, it's a horrible thing that we deal with.
Oh, totally. Totally. And, I think it's like, we talk about, scarcity mentality versus abundance mentality. Like just enough is one of those phrases where it's very indicative of having that scarcity mentality where you're almost scared to try something more ambitious because you're like, oh, well, shit, just enough.
Right. Because I might have to sacrifice this just enough in order to have some abundance.
Thank you.
It's scary as hell.
Yeah.
But I mean, the reward is so great.
Oh, totally. And so that's the number one problem with just enough.
Yeah.
So number 2 problem with just enough is that average becomes normalized.
Yeah.
When you do just enough, the minimum, and I'll never forget, I had a conversation with my niece back in when she was in middle school, and she was like, we were talking about grades, and she was reading like 3 or 4 levels above her grade her entire life. So she was in 4th grade reading an 8th grade level and in 8th grade reading at 12th grade level. And there came a point where I think she started getting around other kids who were just like not doing shit.
So she
slacked off, right? And I remember I had a conversation with her about her grades, and she was like, "Uncle, why are you tripping? I'm gonna pass. It's just C's. Like, why are you tripping? Because I'm not getting A's and B's. I mean, other kids are getting C's and they're just passing.
Other kids ain't my niece. Other kids ain't my family.
You already know what the response is gonna be.
You already know what it is.
You know you're not flying that on this uncle.
Come on now.
I'm not the uncle to let you cook with that. You're not cooking with that.
My kids be trying that.
I said, you know what? I said, well, what does a C mean? She's like, what do you mean? I said, is this like, this means you're average, right? She's like, yeah, it's the average grade. I said, so are you average? Are you just a forgettable, like, average person who's done nothing special, who will do nothing special, who is just easily forgotten? If so, then a C might be okay.
Yeah. If it fits you.
If it fits, is that you?
Yeah, is that you?
Because if that's who you are, then fine. But if you're not cool with that, then why would you celebrate and normalize being average?
Yeah, if that's you, then I shouldn't expect more.
Right. And just let me know.
Just let me know where my expectations should lie.
Right.
If I'm expecting, because this is what I tell my kids. I don't need perfection from you because you're not going to be perfect. But I want maximum effort from you.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So if you come home with B's and C's, but you did everything in your power to get the highest grades you could, and that were B's and C's, then we gonna celebrate that. But if you come home with B's and C's, and I know you're capable of getting A's and B's, then we have a problem.
Yeah,
because I know you're not putting forth your maximum effort.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it's deep how children are easily influenced by other children,
right,
to stop aiming so high or striving so hard.
Yeah, I don't get that.
It's the social element that will make a kid just say, why am I trying so hard when this kid over here is not trying at all, and they're reaping the social rewards, right? They're popular. Everyone thinks they're funny. They might be having luck with the opposite sex, and they're not even trying. And the kid who is trying is seeing this and thinking, my life is infinitely harder because I'm trying.
But that's because they're short-sighted. They're kids. They only see the end of their nose. They don't see tomorrow even a lot of times.
But what's sad is that a lot of adults suffer from that now.
Yep.
These kids ultimately become adults who suffer from the same disease.
Yep.
They'll become adults and they'll think, why the fuck should I get out of the fucking hood?
Yeah, all my friends are here.
It's comfortable.
All my people's
great. What's different from the kid who doesn't want to leave the back of the kids in the classroom who are fucking up and kicking it, and the motherfucker who's in the hood but shouldn't be there?
Right.
It's no real difference.
No, it's not. Age,
that's really it. Perspective is exactly the same. And what colors that perspective is your exposure to ideas. And if you have no exposure to the idea that you are greater than that what you are celebrating should be the minimum,
right?
Then you're going to settle for that as an adult.
Yeah. In
your relationships, in your career, and all that shit. It's just like, oh yeah, just enough. This is cool, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
She treat me all right. He treat me all right.
Yes,
he don't treat me like a queen, but
this'll do.
He take care of me.
Right. He don't whoop my ass.
Right, he don't beat me.
That's
You know what I'm saying? He broke.
I mean, she cool. She ain't throwing a plate of hot grits on me, so I guess it's cool.
Right. I guess we all right.
Yeah, it's not as bad as their relationship.
Right. It could be better.
I mean, she could have cut my dick off by now. She a pretty good woman, As long as she ain't cutting off my dick, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Like, pretty soon you settle for these things and you don't even know fucking why.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like what's normal becomes what's average. And that's when it becomes very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
So that's number 2 reason why just enough is a fucking problem. Okay, so man, let's move to number 3. And this is one that people don't even want to talk about, but I see it very often.
It's so real. Groupthink is a motherfucker.
The third problem with just enough is that you attract other just enough people. Man, no one attracts more average people than average motherfuckers.
Right. If you doing something, then you attract people that's doing stuff.
Ain't that a fact?
If you ain't doing shit, you attract other people that ain't doing shit, or you attract it to other people that ain't doing shit.
Ain't it? And I think there's something subconscious that goes on with people who are doing the minimum where they cannot be around people who are doing more than the minimum.
Yeah, because then they feel a certain type of way.
Right. They may never come out and say it.
Of course.
But you'll notice this in your life if you ever level up, be it educationally, relationally, whatever you may do in terms of your professionalism, you'll notice that certain people you used to fuck with when you were at your lowest, you don't even have to sever those friendships. They'll just kind of stop fucking with you.
Yeah, they fall off. Because they can't, my mom uses this saying, she says, you're eagle pecking around in the chicken yard. Like you're supposed to be storing, and you got all these chickens. You around all these chickens by choice.
Yeah.
If you're supposed to be up there, then they can't fuck with you. But you have to bring yourself down to people's level. And a lot of people just scared to fucking soar, man.
Oh, it's a fact.
I don't know why they scared, but they scared, and that's what you're gonna attract, other scared motherfuckers.
But it's kind of like what we talked about. Comfort.
Yeah, comfort.
Like at the end of everything is comfort. Once you get a minimum level of comfort, you should be thinking, this is the most dangerous place I can be.
Right.
Like the average person gets comfortable, sees comfort, and they think, this is where I want to be forever. This is great. But if you are an ambitious person, you should actually reject comfort.
Yeah, when you're comfortable, that's when you should be, I ain't working hard enough because I'm too comfortable.
Something's not right
I
here.
ain't doing enough because I'm too comfortable.
Something ain't right
This
here.
is too easy.
Yeah, because if this is coming so easy and so routine, does it really mean that I'm being ambitious?
Right.
Or am I doing just enough?
Yeah, no risk involved.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, man. Like I was thinking about back to some of the people I was drinking with before I got sober. And as I mentioned, like some of them just kind of fell off on their own. There was a girl I used to drink with. Her name was Sarah. And she used to come in the bar and just get fucked up, like super fucked up. And somehow Sarah, when I got sober, Sarah was like, yo, you're inspiring me. I think I'm going to stop drinking too.
Right.
And so she ended up quitting about a couple years after I did. And we're friends on Instagram. And she's like a motherfucking bodybuilder now.
That's crazy.
She's winning awards. Like when she was hanging out with us, she was like the most frumpy, kind of like not in shape at all, right? And then she went from like that to like roller derby, went from roller derby to like straight up Miss Universe shit.
Wow.
In like a 3-year period. Does not fuck with any of the people that she was fucking with back then. Life is so different, has attracted different people. And it all started from her being like, yo, this is not enough.
Yeah, this is not the life.
This is not enough. And I like to bring her up because like people think, they wonder like, well, what's on the other side of drawing this line? You know, what's on the other side of being, I guess, pretentious, if you will. But if you don't set a higher standard, how the fuck are you ever going to see what's on the other side?
Yeah, like sky's the limit is a real concept. You know what I'm saying? Like you can really look beyond your circumstance, look beyond what you think that you're capable of and shoot for something higher.
Totally.
I mean, why not?
Totally.
Why settle? Life should not be about settling.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're doing just enough, and you know, like we talk like it versus someone who's doing above and beyond, right? Like when you're doing just enough, you're completely cool with being around people who are doing just enough.
Yeah.
When you want to do and want to go above and beyond, you start to scrutinize the actions and activities of everyone around you.
And everybody call you a hater. Why you hating?
Come on, man. You're a fucking fun killer, man.
Yeah, like stop.
Why you ruining the party with all that
Downer.
serious shit? But it's true, man. You start to look at the moral code of people. You start to look at how they treat other people.
Right.
You start to look at like their past, like their current activities, and you start to say, man, you know what, man? This is not going to contribute positively to my growth.
Right.
Maybe I shouldn't be around this person. I mean, that's what someone who wants to go above and beyond, because that person knows that for me to be inspired to get to the next level, I have to see and be around people who are already at the next level,
right,
or striving for the next level. You may not even know what it is, but by 20 years old, you should know what it ain't.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You should know this ain't it.
Right.
This is going to have me in jail, dead, overdosing.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just blending in. And that's when things get dangerous. You get comfortable. But once you start to switch to that above and beyond mode, that's when you can start looking at those relationships with a little more scrutiny.
Yeah.
And that's when your life can change.
Word.
Okay, so we'll take a break and we'll be right back. Super Duty Tough Work hoodies are finally available from weightless.net. Order yours while supplies last. Thanks for your support. The most infamous.
Dog.
Man, we be bringing the ruckus.
Bars all day.
Dun, dun.
No
Bring the
last call.
motherfucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus. Bring the motherfucking ruckus.
That is my soundtrack on the way home.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do that on the way. I ain't listened to that record in a minute.
Classic.
Yeah, it's classic.
Classic,
Beautiful
man.
record.
We bring the ruckus every episode. You know what I'm saying? So, we talking about the problem with just enough, and the concept of doing just enough versus going above and beyond. And this is a serious topic, and I don't care what you're involved in. There will be times when you go through the motions,
Right.
But it's very important to be honest with yourself and admit that you are, so that you can kind of,
Yeah, get yourself back in the mode.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna have their downtime.
man, look.
But that can't be your normal.
No. No.
Going for more should be your normal. When you're doing just enough, that should be a rarity.
Right. Like, man, I wanted to do more, but I had to settle for just enough.
Yeah.
Right. So okay, we on number 4. And the number 4 problem with just enough is that it damages other people's confidence in you. Now, people tend to normalize doing just enough. And the sad part, especially when it comes to business, if you're dealing with certain people, certain clientele, certain environments, you as a business person might think that your level of service and is good enough.
Right.
And you won't know until you come into contact with people who have a higher expectation that what you are doing and what you've been doing is not enough.
Yeah, you see somebody else like, I ain't shit.
Yeah.
I ain't really doing it right.
It'll remind you, brother.
Yeah.
And what's crazy is that those people who are going above and beyond are judging you by your work, whether they tell you or not. Mm-hmm. They can sit back and tell someone who's just showing up for a quick paycheck, who ain't passionate about their job, who's just going through the motions, who's staring at the clock the whole day they're at work. People can tell this. Mm-hmm. And when they see you doing this, your manager sees you doing this, your coworkers see you doing this, potential clients seeing you do this, it ruins their confidence in you.
Yeah.
And that is super dangerous because you may not even notice that they've been watching you with a keen eye. Mm-hmm. And they've been watching you thinking, when is this dude going to stop doing just enough?
Yeah.
When are they going to take the pride in their work necessary to get to the next level and to do more? Because they fought it out to get to this level.
Right.
I know that they fought to get here. Now they're comfortable and they just don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
That's when it gets really dangerous.
If you're going to do that, then they're going to look at you like, okay, then I can only trust them with just this much.
Say that again.
I can't trust them with more than just enough. I can't trust them with more than just the bare minimum because that's all they're going to do anyway.
Yep.
So why should I give them an extra project? Why should I look at them as somebody that I can depend on, and to innovate anything, to come up with anything, to help further my business, to help further my cause. Right. Why? If that's what they're showing you, then that's all you're gonna be trusted with.
That's a fact. I mean, you sit back and you look at, like, whenever you look online and people start speaking about how to get ahead or to get a raise in a job, the number one thing they tell people is that you have to do more.
Yeah, always.
You have to do more. You just can't sit there and do your work and go home and expect to be promoted or thought of as someone who's capable of leading and or managing and or getting promoted. You can't. It's no surprise, because like we're talking about, the people who are able to give you advancement or help you take your thing to the next level, they're already going above and beyond.
Yeah, that's how they got where they at.
Yeah. They know the recipe.
And the people that are in those positions that are doing just enough, they ain't gonna be in those positions too much longer.
No, because everyone can see it.
Right.
You can get over sometimes, but you should feel bad. Like, I have one project, and I think we talked about on this podcast on, like, we did an episode called like our greatest promotional failures or something, where we talk about records that we really couldn't go into because something was going on in our lives, and maybe we ran out of money or maybe blah, blah, blah. Then I think about, like, when I first got that property and how it was taking away my resources and my energy from promoting my records to the extent that I knew I could.
Right.
From the outside, somebody might have looked at him like, yo, man, Print, he does this, that, this is great. He's promoting. But in my heart, I knew I was doing just enough. Now, it wasn't like one of those, I wasn't comfortable. If anything, I was so uncomfortable that I couldn't focus properly. But I still felt like shit, because I knew that at the end of the day, my effort was not different than anyone else's who just wasn't going above and beyond. It's gotta fucking bug you, man.
Yeah.
You gotta get pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at this shit and you know you're going through the motions and you're just like, yo, it's cool.
Yeah, it's good. You know, I'll be all right.
No, man.
Nah.
Because everyone's looking at you.
Right.
Everyone's looking at you. You can't give. I mean, think about it. Like, even in the fucking drug game, man, you can't. Your name will be mud if you out here giving out bad work.
Yeah, exactly.
If your shit is all stepped on and fucked up, people, your clientele is like, don't fuck with him. But we do it all the time in real life.
Yeah.
People don't sell drugs or do drugs be giving out bad work all the time.
Yeah. And then expect to be promoted.
Work all stepped on. Wondering why your clientele all fucked up. Your work is stepped on.
It's true.
You know, you ain't no different from the shitty drug dealer, man.
True.
Your effort, your work, your product is stepped on, man. So that's number 4, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, problem with just enough. Okay. Man, let me pause before I say this one.
This one is really real. This one is really real.
Okay. Number 5 problem with just enough is when something bad happens, you have less of a cushion.
Or no cushion at all.
No cushion at all. Like, think about it. People out here, while you're sitting here content with making enough to pay your existing bills, to make it to the next level, to just get in the door, what happens when some unexpected life event pops up and fucks up the equilibrium what you got going on?
Yeah.
What happens when the money you had that was allocated for bills, all of a sudden you got to subtract money from that?
Yeah, you got to get your car fixed.
You don't have no extra money.
Yeah, and you got to pull that from rent. You got to pay rent late now. You know what I mean? You got to pay electric bill late. You got to do whatever late. Yeah.
The snowball effect.
Been there, done that.
Man, we done all been there, bro.
Been there, done that.
We done been there, man. And you can't. And you get mad. Excuse me. You get mad, but the truth is, you should be mad at your motherfucking self.
Yeah.
You get mad at the circumstances. My fucking car broke down.
Right.
My fucking house, the siding I gotta replace. Oh, my Oh, my sink is busted. You be mad as shit at the sink, at the car, you know what I'm saying?
Because you know you can't fix that shit.
But you don't be that mad at yourself.
Right,
You're
right,
supposed
right.
to be mad at your motherfucking self.
Right.
You're supposed to say, man, this is my fault because I really should have been prepared for anything.
Right.
I shouldn't have been sitting here with the extra $100 to my name.
Right.
I shouldn't be sitting here content with just enough money to buy weed for the rest of the month.
Right.
I shouldn't have been sitting here just thinking, okay, as long as I get to the next paycheck, I'm cool. Nah, man. Is that what life is about?
Nah.
No. When things go bad, those who are ill prepared are hit the worst.
Oh man. Oh God. You can't make it to work. You can't. You know, it ain't no telling what it fucks up.
Yes.
If you just do just enough.
You could lose your job.
Yeah, you could lose your job.
Just enough.
Yeah.
Like your boss don't want to hear that you was doing just enough.
Yeah, because your boss is like, okay, your car broke down. Get the motherfucker fixed and come to work.
Right.
Like,
what's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem?
Well, you got money, right? I pay you every week.
You got a check coming in. What are you doing?
Like, well, see what happened was,
I'm broke.
And I know you had these jobs that was posted on the bulletin board every week, and positions that were paying more than I could have went for.
Right.
But, I wasn't sure if I was going to be here. I didn't know. The hours were a little bit more. Man, I would have had to take some training. I didn't know if I want to do that, man. I was comfortable doing just enough.
Yeah.
Now your car break down. You like, why didn't I go above and beyond?
Yep.
So the snowball effect, it happens. It's a real thing. And how you minimize it is by going above and beyond. You make sure, when you look at, this is not like a new concept. No. This concept has been around as long as we've been walking this earth. Like there's a reason why the squirrels get busier in October to November than they do. Like you don't see them now, right?
Right.
Cause from August to November, they was putting in mad work. They was storing up on everything they needed so that when it got cold and there wasn't nothing growing on these trees, they could just sit up in there and just wait it out.
Yeah, just lounge.
I'm cool. Oh, winter came? No problem. I got food for the next 3 months.
Yeah.
I don't have to do shit. I get fat. I'm a fat squirrel. I'm just chilling in the tree. Oh, it's raining. It's snowing. There's no vegetation. Who gives a shit? I'm in fat squirrel. Eat all the nuts. Well, it's like whatever. They're just eating everything.
Yeah, straight up.
This is not a new concept. But in this modern society, we get so wrapped up in, okay, maybe I'll just do just enough. And then by the time winter comes, you have no reserves.
Right.
And
you out here hungry. You out here hungry, starving.
I gotta go out there and cold and get some food.
Yeah.
It's real cold.
I
like it. Butt ass naked. Butt ass naked. Out there looking for vegetation that don't exist.
Oh man.
This is what happens because you were doing just enough.
It's so real.
And that's number 5. Okay, we'll take a break and be right back. I get the sense of urgency with my music now based on the understanding that tomorrow isn't promised. Based on not just knowing that, but seeing it firsthand. Seeing people who I thought had forever. People I thought I would grow old with not even be here anymore. To me, if you don't understand that, then I don't know what can motivate you. Because one of the harshest realities in life is knowing that everything around you is temporary. Then the question becomes, what are you going to do with it?
He is the pinnacle of poetry to me. The man can say nothing wrong.
Blueprint has his shit all together. All his T's are crossed. His I's are dotted.
You really get to see what your city is doing from an outside view, other people talking. And when I told them oh yeah, me and Print did shows together and stuff, they're like, what? Print's so dope. And that made me feel real good because that's coming from Columbus.
When he's going all around the world, he represents for Columbus, Ohio, and that is a big deal.
You feel fear, you start to panic, you start to wonder, is this, was the tour over? What are we gonna do?
I'm a determined person, but I really didn't know how the fuck people come back from that. Because I'd never heard of anybody having anything like that happen to them and finishing a tour.
You only get one life, no time to play. Don't ever waste your time, live for the day. You only get one life, no time to play. Don't ever waste your time.
We here
Yep.
doing the damn thing.
Doing God's work.
Ain't we though? This is a serious episode.
It's real.
A little more serious than the usual.
Yeah, but it's needed.
Yeah, man. So if y'all are on SoundCloud listening, let us know what y'all think about this episode, if it's hitting home.
You know what? On some real, this is timely, especially with income tax season coming up. Because we got a lot of cats out here about to go ghetto gold. You know what I'm saying?
It's
about
true.
to go ghetto platinum when they get that check.
Oh, man.
And they gonna be broke within 2-3 weeks because they done got a new Xbox.
You ain't gonna be able to tell them nothing.
You know, nothing at all.
Bruh.
Nothing at all. Gonna be late on their light bill, but they gonna have that new Gucci outfit.
Instagram gonna be lit.
Oh, it's gonna be
A
crazy.
lot of faking of jacks.
Lot of them.
A lot of stunting.
Straight up.
A lot of
dog.
new things. Yo, check me out.
Yo, check me out. I'm out here.
I
got them dubs.
Got the rims, dog.
Yeah, got the rims.
Sitting on them things. Ooh,
Shiny.
what? Oh, the belt. Yes, it's a Gucci belt. Yes. Oh, you noticed it. Okay, yeah, I thought so. It's nothing.
yeah.
You know, tax season.
Oh, them J's? Yeah.
Yep, got
That's
those. Yep.
That's me.
It's nothing. It's
Got it.
tax season. Just a little check I got from Uncle Sam, you know. And then, like you say, 3 weeks later.
Yeah, calling their mom to pay their light bill. Mom, I need a little extra. I need an extra $100 for rent.
Kept the receipts.
Yeah.
Probably had to return that shit.
All
You know,
day.
but yeah, that's a good test of like your mentality. I've always looked at like income tax time. You get to see who's who, because some people look at that shit like, look, this was my money anyway. This ain't no windfall for me to be blowing on bullshit.
Right.
Like Uncle Sam ain't doing that but giving you back what was yours. But we are treating it because they take it up front.
Right.
We treat it like we won the lottery.
Like it's extra.
Yeah,
like
it's not extra.
Nah, that's you. It
was always yours.
Yeah, you made that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's crazy, man. So yeah, we talking about just enough, man.
Yeah.
And the problem with just enough. So we're gonna get down to 6. We got like one last joint and one bonus joint. But the number 6 problem with doing just enough is that doing just enough is still losing. Only when you're surrounded by people who are not winning is doing just enough winning.
Right.
Like there's like when you lack perspective though, you don't even see it.
Yeah. Because your just enough might be more than his just enough.
Dog, it's like
So to him, you winning. You know what I'm saying? To you winning when you look at this other dude that's doing less than just enough.
right. Like think about the stages people go through when they start taking on something like, let's just say like a 5K run, for example. First level is to get in shape to be able to run it.
Right.
Right. At that level, you're like, I just want to run a 5K.
I want to finish. Yeah, I just want to finish.
Finish.
Yeah, I just want to finish.
You're not thinking about your time. You're not thinking about winning, placing. All you care about is finishing because for years you sat dormant.
Right.
You were not in shape for however many years leading up to that. You started losing weight. You start getting more serious. And you're like, okay, now that I'm in shape, let me put my shape to the test and finish this 5K. To you, that means a lot.
Right.
But to the people who run the 5K every year
Right.
and have been running it for the last 10 years and who are thinking about winning it
Right.
and thinking about posting their lifetime best times,
Right.
you ain't shit.
Right. Just finishing is like, what the fuck am I doing out here to them? You know?
It's cute to them.
Right.
Oh, look at the guy just finishing. Look at the girl. She's just finishing. Happy to be here, motherfuckers.
Right.
Happy to be in a race.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone else in that race has gotten over that whole I'm just happy to be here thing years ago.
Yeah.
And they're going above and beyond trying to draw the best out of themselves. And I'm not saying getting in a race is not significant.
Yeah.
It's important that you be there. But don't get it fucked up and think that doing the minimum is winning.
Yeah. I mean, look at sports. Look at professional sports, basketball, football. Like, we wouldn't talk about Jordan being the greatest if he did just enough. We wouldn't talk about Kobe with his championships and Shaq and all them if they did just enough to get by. Even though they were the best at what they did, it was a reason they were the best at what they did because they put in the work.
Yeah.
You know, Kobe, Jordan, they would show up hours before the rest of the team show up and be in a sweat before the rest of the team even showed up to practice.
Yeah. I mean, think about it too. Like a lot of the people who have been looked upon as the biggest NBA busts are the people who were just happy to get drafted.
Yeah, happy to be there.
Happy to just like their whole life. They probably were like, I just want to be in the NBA.
Yeah, or NFL, same thing.
Yep. Great college players, great high school players. When they got to the league, they didn't have the work ethic and they didn't translate their game because they were really just happy to be there, bro. They never were thinking like, oh man, like I want to be the best of all time.
Right.
Like Jordan and LeBron and Kobe, they're all thinking one ring is not enough.
Right.
How many of these rings do I need to be the best ever?
Right. Yeah, they going for that.
That's not a just enough thing.
Nah, one ring is like, man,
Not
this ain't
enough.
shit.
We don't even talk about those people.
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about the people who ain't got no rings, even if they are all stars and Hall of Famers. It's
Yeah.
like, yo, Barkley was dope, but he ain't got no rings.
Yeah. So he gets talked about in passing.
Anyways, who's the best between
Right.
LeBron, Kobe, and Jordan? That's the
Right.
Bird,
Tim Duncan,
Bird. Yeah. To enter the conversation,
Yeah.
you can't do the minimum.
Yeah. I mean, even to enter the conversation, you can't just have one ring. You got to have like at least 3.
Right.
You got to have at least 3 championships.
Yep.
Like Tom Brady being one of the best ever.
Totally.
Dude got what, 5?
Yep.
5 Super Bowls?
Yeah, because he wasn't settled with just getting there.
Yeah.
He did that as a rookie.
Yeah, and you're like, nah, bro.
Nah, this is his beginning.
Once you get that taste, you're like, oh, yo.
I can't go back.
Nah, I can't go
But
back.
you know what helped him know is because like his documentary came on. I don't know if it wasn't a 20 for 20, but they talked about how he got super disrespected on draft night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he got drafted like 6th round or something.
Yeah, damn near at the I think he was one of the last quarterbacks drafted. And he talks about how Tom Brady, like his parents, he was so late in the draft that he left his house and started walking around the block. His parents had to call him
To tell him
he got drafted and when he got drafted. And they said he said that he just started crying.
Mm-hmm.
He was so embarrassed that like everything these people told him wasn't coming true and that he was like one of the last quarterbacks drafted. And he said, I never will forget that.
Yeah.
And he has went on to play as if he never forgot that.
Right.
There's clearly something in him that is greater and a greater motivator than all of his peers, because you don't get to be that driven without facing some adversity.
Oh, yeah.
And clearly that draft experience put something in him that no one else has.
Yeah, like every year he probably like, oh, word, round 6th round, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it ain't enough.
Yeah, oh, word,
It ain't enough.
okay, all right.
I could retire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Yeah. What's my name?
Yeah, y'all got to deal with me.
Right.
Every year you got to deal with him.
I'm going to be here.
Yeah, even if he loses a Super Bowl, he's in the conversation.
Oh, always.
He's in the conversation. And he refused to do just enough.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's number 6. But I got one bonus one.
Bonus joint.
And this is something I thought about when it comes to sports, right? Like you ever watch like a basketball game or a football game where like a team will take a huge lead in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be up like 30 to 40 points.
Yeah.
People in the stands will start leaving.
Mm-hmm.
The team is just like, these motherfuckers are soft. They're not even supposed to be on the court with us.
Yeah, we got it.
We got this. We're
Yeah.
up 40. Who gives a shit?
Start
Throwing
coasting.
lazy passes,
Yeah.
turnovers, shooting shitty shots, and what even more, they start playing not to lose as opposed to playing to win.
Right.
Doing just enough is the equivalent of playing not to lose.
Yeah.
Because when you play to win, you are ambitious.
Yeah.
You are looking for opportunities. You are trying to better yourself, better your craft, get ahead. But when you are doing just enough, all you want to do is protect what little you've accumulated to that point.
Yeah.
Everything that got you there, you stop doing it because you figure losing this is worse than trying to get more and failing.
Yeah.
And one of the worst things you can do in life is playing not to lose.
Yeah.
Like this thing is short, man.
Yeah, because cats do that, like with the sports analogy. You do that, you up 40, next thing you know, you up by 2.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With
Come back of the year.
Yeah, with a couple minutes left in the 4th quarter, you like, shit.
Yeah.
Like we took the foot off the gas.
Yeah. Playing not to lose. And it's bullshit, man. So that's it.
Word.
That's it this week. So, man, this week, I'm going to run them back. This week, we talking about the problem with doing just enough. And reason number 1, you are not aiming high enough. Number 2, being average becomes normalized. Number 3 problem is that you attract other just enough people. Problem number 4 is that it damages other people's confidence in you. Problem number 5 is that when something bad happens, you have even less of a cushion. Number 6 is that doing just enough is still losing. And the bonus joint was that doing just enough is really playing to not lose, which is like worse than playing at all. Really.
Right, you might as well just sit on the bench.
Yeah, just quit, you know. So that's it for this week.
Yeah.
And we'll catch y'all next week.
Word.
Bursh.
Thank you for listening to Super Duty Tough Work. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Follow the podcast on SoundCloud. Peace.
Shoot, I got styles already that's more complex that nobody know about. I mean, super duty tough work.